There's something people say a lot when a relationship ends or something falls apart. We hear it often. Sometimes we say it. We need closure. They need the other person to explain or to apologize, to finally say the thing that makes it all make sense. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the person who hurt you doesn't have the words. Sometimes they just don't have the awareness. Other times they simply just disappear. And when that happens, people can find themselves just waiting for that conversation, for an explanation, waiting for that moment when the other person finally gives them the permission to move forward. And when you do that, and without realizing it, you put your life on pause. It's like you've inhaled. And you're waiting for someone else to give you permission to exhale. Holding your breath, waiting for the explanation that will somehow make everything different. But sometimes the situation has already answered the question. Because sometimes the behavior was the explanation. The silence, the distance, the inconsistency. The way someone shows up or doesn't. And sometimes the truth is even simpler than we want it to be. Sometimes they just didn't care the way that we hoped they would. Sometimes you were a placeholder. Something familiar. Something convenient. Something that filled the space for a while. And it's not always out of cruelty. Sometimes it was just simply easier. It was easier than being honest, easier than commitment, easier than saying what the situation actually was. And when you allow yourself to see that clearly, something does shift. But it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel empowering. It feels like that quiet moment when you realize, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. And that realization can hurt. Because now you're just not dealing with the situation. You're dealing with the truth of it. And you may still care. You may still wish that it had been different. You may still feel the pull to wait just a little bit longer. Hoping that the explanation might somehow change the reality. But somewhere in that discomfort, another recognition begins to grow. That recognition that staying where you are is going to keep hurting. And life does not end at this door. there are other choices, other paths, other sunrises waiting to be seen. And eventually, the breath you've been holding releases, and you stop waiting. You stop hoping the explanation will change the behavior what's already shown you. And you recognize something important. You recognize that the ability to move forward was always within your reach. And this is because the door doesn't only open from their side. That doorknob is on both sides. You can open it and you can close it. Exhale and close the door. Not out of bitterness, not out of anger, but out of clarity. Out of the recognition that your life does not require someone else's permission to continue. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is this: stop waiting for someone else to close the chapter and close it yourself. Sit with yourself there and continue traveling. If this feeling is where you are right now, the next step isn't fixing your life. It's understanding where you are. And that's where we begin.